is that, even if Trump wants to make some kind of deal with Putin or whatever, it has to come with strong guarantees for Ukraine. You can't just believe Putin, as Angela Merkel, with her experience, said. He told me a brazen lie. That was her, that was her term about what he did in Crimea, what he did in Ukraine. So I asked her about Trump and about her experience with him, and particularly what she noticed to be his fascination with dictators and authoritarians. So I put this rather long-winded question to her, and here is the answer. I remember very distinctly when Donald Trump was first elected, you were the only one to actually welcome his election conditionally. In other words, based on the respect and the adherence to mutual values: democracy, freedom, diversity, rule of law, human rights, etc. And I just, wonder whether you thought he did act in that way. And especially because you said he was clearly fascinated by the Russian president. In the years that followed, I received the distinct impression that he was captivated by politicians with autocratic and dictatorial traits. How did that manifest itself to you?
Well, in the way that he spoke about Putin, the way that he spoke about the North Korean president. Obviously, apart from critical remarks he made, there was always a kind of fascination at the sheer power of what these people could do. So my impression always was that he dreamt of actually overriding maybe all those parliamentary bodies that he felt were, in a way, an encumbrance upon him, and that he wanted to decide matters on his own. And in a democracy, well, you cannot reconcile that with democratic values.
Really interesting, and she knows firsthand. And she also talked about the trade tariffs and what might happen to the global economy, not just the US economy, if all those tariffs are actually implemented. And she reminded everybody that, in the first Trump term it was China, but then all of a sudden the EU was hit with steel tariffs and others. And she said, look, it's going to hurt America and the world as well. So let's see how that comes into focus. But yeah, the world leaders, just like, you saw Prime Minister Trudeau go down to Mar-a-Lago, President Macron has invited Trump to see the opening of the Notre Dame, and they're all trying to get the measure of the man.
The perspective from Angela Merkel in this next during Donald Trump's next term will be very interesting. I hope she doesn't shy away from the spotlight. But on that, it's not just what world leaders looking at in terms of Donald Trump. It's also who will he have around him helping him to put forth and to put in place his foreign policy, like his defense secretary, Pete Hegseth. You well know, our viewers well know, he's facing a growing list of allegations and accusations. What are you hearing from leaders and others about that pick and others?
Look, a lot of people are very concerned. The United States military is the biggest, most powerful military in the world. It's got about 3 million people under arms. It's got a budget of nearly $1 trillion. And they have, it's a massive nuclear power. So everybody is concerned about that. As well, the Chinese military and the Chinese government is angling to surpass American leadership, maybe by 2030, in their, in their minds. So I was talking to former U.S. Defense Secretary and former Republican Senator and Congressman William Cohen, and about, for instance, Pete Hegseth, who's Trump's nominee for Defense Secretary. He's very concerned because of all the issues that have been put out there, because Hegseth is on Capitol Hill trying to put his character and his substance to that. And you heard what Merkel said about bypassing the parliamentary system. Well, Cohen said he has to be rigorously examined, like all of them, by the Senate, background checks by the FBI. And I asked him about his own experience as a senator and as a congressman during the Watergate impeachment. Take a listen.